Hey everybody, welcome to Average Guy Opinions. I'm your average guy, John Corelli. There's still a cricket alive. It's November 4th. What's going on? Apocalypse. I don't know. I'm wearing a green shirt. It's one of my main colors of the school that I work for, and today's episode is about just that, work, because that's a big part of my life now that we're back into the swing of things. It's fall. I'm working with one kid only, generally every day, and it's really not easy. My situation before is, and I think I've explained how high school is very different from when I was a kid. That instead of going every day for about an hour each class, you go every other day and you go an hour and a half each class. So it's kind of like college prep, really, at least format wise. As to whether you're doing near college work, depends where you're at. Logan definitely is, but some kids are and some kids aren't. Obviously, the kids I work with generally aren't. Very few of the kids I work with will have a shot at college, but there are some kids that are high enough functioning that they can do college work and maybe even get a college degree or diploma, which is pretty amazing. This is not the case for the child I work with. He's 17. He's still in diapers. He is, for all intents and purposes, nonverbal. He can count to 10. He can name his colors. He can read some simple words, but as from what I've tried with him, he cannot read. He writes if it's there, like if the word eat is there, he can copy it. But writing fundamentally, independently, he cannot, unfortunately. So what was going on 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I would have him one day. We have A days and B days. I would have this kid on B days. On A days, I would work my 4 classes with the other kids. I worked in science and math and I can't even remember. One period I did cover this kid too, at the end of the day. So I saw him every day. And then what was my other class I had? I was in Plainsman, which is our choir class for freshmen, when we had like 4 freshmen in there that all have special needs all along the spectrum. So, and I really like my schedule. I like the variance. But now, the other guy that was working with my friend, and he's in his own room. I think I've mentioned this before too. It's called the sensory room. We have sensory stuff. There are big bouncing balls. There's a swing. There's smaller sensory toys like squishy balls and vibrating things and all kinds of stuff the kids might need to settle them down. And I also mentioned before, many episodes ago, how sensory stuff is not as necessary generally at this level as it is like for elementary school kids that might need that to get through their day. Our kids generally don't need it, but we're in that room. It's a good sized room. I'd say it's probably about 20 by 30, so 600 square feet, maybe more. It's a really good sized room, and we just have a table in there. We work together. He has all of his stuff is in there. All of his tasks that we do get together, very simple tasks like putting nuts and bolts together, simple counting, simple addition, simple subtraction, counting money, all kinds of stuff, separating stuff by colors and by sizes and by shapes, and that's what we do all day. He has a lot of breaks, gets a lot of breaks. He has some toys that he brings from home, and he brings his food in his backpack. And right now, since we're so short-staffed, is I usually have my lunches in there with him. It's just easier. We used to bring him to the cafeteria. It's pretty chaotic in there, and I don't want to be distracted from this kid because he has run before. He actually tried to do it this morning, right off the bus, just started running the opposite direction. I just grab him by the backpack and go, no. Kind of yelled at him, and hopefully the bus driver didn't take that like the wrong way, but I yelled at him. I got in his face. I said, you need to stay safe out here. I can't go chasing you. Not at 54. I had to chase him actually about a month ago. We were out doing recycling because we also do some simple chores. So maybe if he ever does get it would be a menial job, but he could possibly work if he understands how to act and what to do in certain situations. But yeah, so we do some recycling. We will go get ice. We have a coffee shop. We go down to the athletic department. I have a big ice machine for injuries, and so we take ice out of there and we bring it to the coffee shop. We recycle, go to the recycling, and the recycling bin is naturally outside. And he took off on me like a month or so ago. I had to chase him, and it would have taken me a while to catch him. Luckily, another para just happened to be out there with another kid and kind of blocked him in. But yeah, so this kid's a challenge. Sometimes it feels like we're two men in a missile silo. or it's perfect that I watched The Lighthouse a couple nights ago with Logan. An amazing movie, by the way. I'd love to do a full review of it. I don't know if I can commit 10 minutes to it, but it's one of the best movies I've seen in years. It's an amazing psychological horror movie. Willem Dafoe's in it, and Robert Pattinson is. He's not just for Twilight anymore, kids. Guy can act. He's the next Batman too. Maybe this was like his resume to be Batman, because he's amazing in this movie, and so is Willem Dafoe. Anyway, a little sidebar, but that's what it feels like sometimes. These two guys are in this lighthouse trying not to kill each other. Sometimes it feels this way with this kid. I'm like, man, you're like, he'll do stuff that's not really appropriate, especially for 17. Obviously, he does a lot of things that aren't appropriate, like still not being toilet trained. But like just yesterday, another person came in to talk to me for a minute. Another para and sometimes we do have traffic in there. Kids will come in to settle down. It doesn't happen very often, but there are times where we have overlapping people come in there. He's gotten very spoiled. We haven't needed that a lot for our kids the last couple years, and plus we've done remote. But this kid, now we have kids coming in that need to be in there, and he doesn't like it. He feels like it's his room, and I have to explain to him, this is not your room. This is the sensory room. We use it as a classroom, but it's for anyone to come in anytime they need it. And so I was talking to this person. He grabs my phone, giggles, and then dives into we have these two mats that we kind of use as beds. He actually, and that's another thing he does. It's not high school typical. He takes a nap in the middle of the day from 1 to 2 o'clock because apparently if he doesn't, he will go to bed really early when he gets home. Like go to sleep at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. Be up at like 3, and it'll be really rough on his single mother. That's funny. It was rough. It was a little chaotic, and so I did that. I didn't do that on purpose. Nothing I do is on purpose. Everything's by mistake, and sometimes it just works out, which is often how it feels with this kid, by the way. I'm just trying my best. My goal with this kid, he's a junior. He's 17. My goal is to get him to be toilet trained by the time he leaves this institution. I don't know. I really, it's going to be hard because you need the support from home. And what I was going to say is the mom's not got it easy. She speaks Spanish only. This kid is bilingual, which is really cool. Sometimes I speak Spanish, just little poquitos to him, and he's like kind of surprised that I can speak Spanish, or a little bit. And so he is bilingual, but his mom only speaks Spanish. His brother's a great kid. I met him when I would go to visit the home during remote learning. No, well, it wasn't really remote, but when we were trying to get some extra learning done when we really were on the shutdown last year. But his brother's a great guy. He's 20, and he just knows his role. He knows he will someday end up probably having to take care of this kid. And then he has a very little brother who's like 5. So mom, and they're poor. They're in a okay apartment. When I say okay, I'm being pretty liberal with the term okay. But she's a nice woman, and she appreciates when I try to speak a little Spanish to her. And that's it, though. It's her and these 3 boys, and it's not going to be easy. So I don't know what ends up happening with this kid. I don't know. That's why I get in there, and I'm not like patting myself on the back, but when you have a kid and you've seen what he can do with enough people caring about him, you want to be one of those people that helps the next kid to maybe do things that nobody expected out of him. And that's what I'm trying with this kid. I'm pretty hard on him, a little harder than the other guy that quit. The other guy was a nice guy, and I think pretty good, but I think he's a little easier on him than I was, because people are like, man, you're kind of hard on him. I go, he's not going to get anywhere if I'm easy on him. If we go in and just play all day, I'm babysitting. I'm not being an educator, and this kid needs an educator. He needs someone to let him know that you're here for a reason, to learn, so you have a shot in a year and a half when you walk out that door. That's my job, and that's what I hope I can do with this kid. In the meantime, it's very stressful because I am there every day, all day with this kid. Got out early today. I mentioned in my last video that Logan had to leave because he had stomach issues, so luckily someone was there to cover for me for the last couple hours that I was supposed to be there with this kid. I'll see him tomorrow. We'll do our best, and hopefully we never have a lighthouse missile silo type of situation where we have to turn the key at the same time and So just want to let you know that's my life right now at work, and it's a challenge, but I still love this job, and I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep slamming my head against that wall till a brick falls. All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.